Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing my February wrap up. Today's the last day of February. I read a total of 12 books in the last half of February, so let's get right into it. First book that I read was Powerless by Elsie. I recently dropped my anticipated releases reading vlog, and I do read that book in that vlog, and I go into heavy detail about Powerless and the two other books as well in that anticipated releases reading vlog. So you guys want to see my full in-depth thoughts on those books, then go ahead and watch that. I will leave it up here in the cards for you guys. I think that is my longest reading vlog that I've ever done. It is so long, and I tried to edit it down as much as I could, and I tried to like take out any repetition, but you know, it was 3 authors I love, 3 books that I was highly anticipating, and yeah, so long vlog, but a fun one, and if you make it through it, you're a real one. Next book that I read was The Devil and I by Kay Alastor. This one was actually by the recommendation of Jen from the Book Refuge. She brought it up in one of her recommendation videos, and it sounded very interesting, so I used my Kindle rewards for it, like that new thing Amazon is doing. It was the first book that I got from using those Kindle rewards things, which is pretty neat. I kind of like it. But anyways, I ended up giving it 3 stars. It took me quite a bit to finish it, even though it's like novella length. It is 137 pages, and it took me about like 3 days to finish it. I don't know what it was. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to love it. I did find some parts a little bit cringy. So basically, our heroine is in a very dark place. She was sexually assaulted, and she tried to get justice for it, and it didn't really work out. Her rapist did go free, and she's just been scared ever since. It's very brutal, dark romance. Check trigger warnings. This is not for the faint-hearted. Trigger warnings for suicidal thoughts, for suicide, all of that. And so our heroine gets a note at her apartment, and it's from her rapist, and she has had it. Like, she's like, I'm done living in fear, like I can't do this anymore. And so she ends up walking to the woods, sitting in the woods and slashing her wrist. And our hero is a cop, but by nighttime he is literally a psychopath. Like, he's a murderer, and he basically takes out people who have slipped through the cracks of the justice system. And he finds our heroine, and he is just instantly like mine, and he doesn't let her die. So he ends up taking her and taking care of her and like healing her wounds and taking her to his cabin in the middle of the woods, literally. And this is their romance. He basically is absolutely obsessed with her, and he is just one of those sweet and kind and caring psychopaths, but only for her. Like, I hate everyone but you. I would burn the world down for you. I would kill people for you. That is giving much our hero. And that is the premise of the book. It was good for what it was. I enjoyed it. If it sounds like something you would be interested in, it's very smutty. And yeah, I don't know. There's not much to say about this one. Like I said, I just enjoyed it. It was 3 stars. The next one that I read was A Baby for the Outcast by Cassie. This one I ended up giving 3.5 stars. I actually really did like this one. I just didn't like the whole miscommunication aspect of it. Like, we could have just communicated, you guys, but anyways, basically our heroine is an assistant to our hero Rufus, and he basically has these many dreams about his assistant. Like, he really wants her. Like, he's like low-key obsessed with her, like in love with her. And the heroine sneaks into his room one night while there's a storm, because she's afraid of the storms, and shit goes down. She is a virgin heroine, and she ends up getting pregnant from this one night that they have together, but the hero doesn't remember it as it being real. He remembers it as a sex dream, and it was a hot experience. And then the day after, he just pretends like nothing happened, and it hurts the heroine. So they're kind of in this limbo where nobody's communicating for a bit, and then she finds out she's pregnant, and she tells him, and he's like, whose baby? And she gets even more mad, rightfully so. It goes on from there. They communicate. He's happy that she's pregnant, and he'll take care of her. And yeah, it was good for what it was, but it was just too much of miscommunication. Like, they were pining for each other, and like, she needed to tell him like, why you acting so different after what happened last night, you know? But anyways, 3.5 for that one. Then I ended up reading Hail Mary. I ended up giving this one 4.5 stars. I did read this for my anticipated releases reading vlog, so make sure you go check that out. I had so much fun reading this one. It was really good, you guys. After that one, I ended up reading Hero by Claire Kent. This one one. I ended up picking it up because I wanted to finish the 4-book series that Claire Kent has in this like apocalyptic world. And this one was a little bit different. It wasn't like really connected to any of the characters previously. Basically, our heroine, she was studying to go to NASA and be an astronaut. When the meteor hit, she survives with a bunch of her family who eventually end up dying off for different reasons, but she ends up being stuck with her uncle and her uncle's daughter. The uncle had gotten a girl pregnant just like willy-nilly, like they didn't have any like sort, it was like a one night stand with the uncle, and then they had the baby, and I think the mother died of an illness or something. So basically, it is our heroine, the uncle, and the little girl. So it's like single dad, and I ate it up. I love me a single dad. I really do. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. I loved the anxiety rep in this one. I loved, honestly, all of Claire Kent's heroes are top notch. Like, they're so broody, quiet, and like we never get their POV, but you can just tell how much they're into the heroine, and they basically go on this journey where they need to travel to go into Haven, the New Haven farming camp that we read about in the first book, because they need a new place to live because they can't spend another winter in the cabin that they're currently staying at. And then obviously they run into some trouble. Eventually they get together, but it's more of a sex thing. The hero feels like the heroine's only with him because that's all she knows. And yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend this series. This just gives what it needs to give. I love Claire Kent. I can't wait to read Last Light. I know that one's not a full-length novel, but it's close to one, I believe, or it might just be a full-length novel. I don't know, but I do want to read that one. And yeah, I ended up giving it 4 stars. I loved it. Then I ended up reading Fight Dirty by Cassie Mint. This one is about our heroine. She is getting these notes from this person, this guy, who's basically saying like he's following her and like he knows information about her because she is a singer at this club bar, and that's how she got the attention of her stalker. And she goes to this gym which the hero owns. He was previously a boxer, and she goes in there wanting to learn how to fight so she can defend herself from her stalker. And the hero initially is like, what do you want? He thinks she's a groupie and wants to get with him, and he's like upset that she could be a groupie because he actually thinks she's attractive and he actually kind of likes her. She's like, what the heck, like I came here for you to teach me how to fight. They have this moment. She tells him what the issues are, and he's instantly protective and possessive, and he is there to protect her, and he watches her sing. They have this cute little moment. I feel like Cassie Mint's novellas are getting less spicier each release that she has. I don't know if that's just me. I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. Like I just noticed it. So yeah, I ended up giving that one 3 stars. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my read. Then I ended up reading Secretly Yours by Tessa. This is another one that I ended up reading in my highly anticipated reading vlog. So come on, you guys. Go check out that vlog. That one is a fun one. I read a lot of great books in that. So check it out to see my thoughts. It's a Tessa Bailey. You guys, it was really good too. Then I ended up picking up Never Cuff an Alien by VK Ludwig. This is the second book in her Vandalar Concubines. I wanted to pick this one up because this one is about the hero that we see in the first book. He was purchased by the best friend from the first book, and their relationship is very back and forth. Like she wants him and he's like, absolutely not. Like he wants her, but he refuses to do anything with her. So it's very back and forth, and it's funny, it's fun, it's smutty. Once they finally like get together, like it is so good. And I love the hero and how possessive he gets at some point, and like the whole growling thing is like really hot, and like I just really enjoy this series. I am a little bit iffy about jumping into the third one, but I probably eventually will whenever I'm feeling it. But I'm glad that I picked up this series. This was by the recommendation of Tiffany from Tiff Talks Pages, and I'm so glad I picked it up. It was really fun and funny, and I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. Then I ended up picking up Maniac by Onley James. This one I actually am also reading for a reading vlog that you guys haven't seen yet, so I will give you guys a brief synopsis. This one I was wanting to read because it is the last book in the Necessary Evil series. This is about Thomas Mulvaney. Mulvaney, the head of this serial killer clan thing, and Aiden. So we see Thomas and Aiden kind of have this really strenuous relationship where they really kind of don't talk anymore. Aiden's kind of left and given up the last name, and he's just like no longer, he doesn't see himself as a son to Thomas. Obviously there's never been any really like familial ties for them together, except that Thomas saved him from a situation that we do get to learn about in this book. I ended up giving it 3.5, but rounding it down to a 3 on Goodreads. It was slightly disappointing. Next up, this one was a little different for me. I ended up reading Dark Notes by Pam Godwin. This one is actually in a reading vlog that I'm filming for you guys. I'm going to be reading Dark Notes, Sea of Ruin, and Knotted by Pam Godwin. I'm super excited. I loved this book. I loved Pam Godwin's writing, and that will be all that I will say because I really want you guys to watch that reading vlog. I think it's going to be really good, so stay tuned for that. I then read 2 novellas in the same series. I read Dom Fitness by Brianna, Hale. This one was actually by the recommendation of Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings. She really enjoyed it, and I added it to my TBR. This one is about Amelia and Dom. Amelia is a journalist, and she goes to this new gym where basically it's based off of dominance and them being the trainers and like having different, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just so cool, honestly. It's basically a gym where you sign up and basically you fall into a category in the BDSM world, and you get a dominant to be your trainer and help you live a healthier lifestyle, whether that be to bulk, to lose weight, etc, etc. Amelia goes to this gym so she could write an article, and she is instantly categorized as a brat, and she ends up getting paired up with Dom, who is the owner of the gym, and they instantly hit it off. And I loved the banter. I loved the nicknames. It does have the Daddy King, they both do, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did give it 3 stars just because I did find some parts to be kind of cringy, and the sex was also very abrupt, and their relationship was also very abrupt because there is this rule in the gym that the trainer and the trainee can't have any form of relationship, but Dom and Amelia end up breaking those rules and they end up forming this relationship. But I enjoyed it for what it was. But then I ended up reading the second book in the Dom Fitness series. This is called Gym Bunny. This one I ended up giving 4 stars to. I actually really loved this one more than the first one. This one has a plus size heroine, a curvy heroine. She has a lot of trauma from a previous relationship that was with a dom. So she sees our hero Trey passing out like flyers and stuff in front of the gym, and she has to pass this gym to and from her work. And our heroine Livia, she sees him and instantly is attracted to him and Trey as to her as well. She has this like a rocky start with a relationship with Trey because she sees him outside of the gym, and then she sees him at this club and they have this moment, but then he asks her about like requirements for like a relationship kind of, and she's like instantly like shuts down because of her trauma from her past relationship, and she never wants to feel like that ever again. Trey is just kind of really sad because he really likes her and he thinks that she's the one for him, but he's obviously not gonna push her. And then eventually she ends up joining the gym. Trey becomes her trainer and their relationship goes from there. They have a lot more gradual relationship that I really appreciated, that I didn't really see in the first book. The smutty scenes were really great. I really liked it. There was no third act breakup. I thought they said I love you at a good time, especially for a novella. And I just love seeing the whole dom fitness aspect. Like, it's just so unique and I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. And that is the last book that I read for February. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But go ahead and leave me your favorite book of February down below. And if you don't want to do that, then go ahead and leave me a gym related emoji down below. I can't really think of like specific gym related emojis right now, but do something like gym related for dom fitness because I really enjoyed that novella series. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.